What's up, everybody? Sysadmin Sean here with some more sysadmin news. You may have remembered from yesterday that there was a giant AT&T outage. Now, they have since restored service and everything seems to be okay. Main reason I want to talk about this is two things. One from a sysadmin perspective and one from an end user perspective, essentially, and what happened and how the outage may have occurred and some other stuff to discuss there. So let me pull this up real quick. So here we go. From AT&T's website, based on an initial review, we believe that today's outage was caused by the application and execution of an incorrect process used as we were expanding our network, not a cyber attack. So what does that mean? So according to this, they were expanding their network, doing some sort of maintenance task that they believed would be non-disruptive. So they wouldn't affect users, but something in their process caused the disruption. That could be any number of things. There are situations where documentation is too old. There are situations where somebody just did not follow the process, therefore an incorrect process. They didn't do the steps as they should. Those are all the things that, from a sysadmin perspective, you're supposed to go through, review, check, and double check before you ever do any sort of maintenance like this. Sometimes you can do all those things and still have a problem. And in this case, that's what happened with AT&T. So they had a plan, they were doing an expansion project, and it went poorly. And then it took them a while, but they restored service. And they go through this whole page and discuss it like that. And I do want to point this out too. So Yahoo Finance reported on this, and basically they are kind of leaning towards the curious investigation. Well, not really even investigative. There's not a lot of info here. There was an outage. Some people felt that maybe this was a cyber attack. AT&T said no, but there were some weird messages apparently, and then the FCC and the FBI are involved in this. Does that mean there was a cyber attack? No. It does mean that they looked into it to see if there was a cyber attack threat vector. Could it still mean there is a cyber attack? Maybe. But again, we don't have that information. AT&T is saying it was not a cyber attack, and we need to take them at that face value for now. Does that mean companies have never lied about being attacked and breached? Absolutely not. They have done that a ton of times. It happens, and then later they come back and say, we were wrong, we were actually attacked. Will we see that here? Hard to say right now. One of the sources that I spoke with had heard that this was actually the attack vector that may have happened for AT&T. Now, that's not to say this is the attack vector. This is just a situation that they heard of, and that this is a pretty big vulnerability to deal with. Critical ConnectWise RMM bug poised for exploitation avalanche. So they disclosed that there is a big vulnerability in ConnectWise, which is a software used to kind of allow vendors to connect into servers or equipment so that they can do work for you. With this vulnerability, it sounds like anybody can connect in with ConnectWise, and that's a big problem. So you've got to lock some stuff down and protect yourself. They've disclosed the vulnerability. They don't have CVEs, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but that means they're working on it. Check for signs of compromise and patch. So all that stuff is in there. All that to say, though, AT&T again has said this is not a cyber attack. They just messed up in their process, which can happen. IT people make mistakes. And so I'm going to take them at face value and just assume that it was probably DNS. And if it wasn't DNS, it was probably BGP. And yeah, I did steal that from a Reddit thread. But it's a good joke. So that's it for this one. Nice, quick, no edit, bang, bang, boom. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.